So now we are going to discuss about the random experiment. What are the random experiments? So before going to the random experiments, we study some properties of this. So why we need random experiments? Experiments are needed in any scientific studies. So what are the random experiments? Okay, so let's starting from some examples. So suppose we toss a die and observe the number that's so on the top. So what we have the number that observe on the top. So it may be any number that from 1 to up to 6. Toss a coin 4 times and observe the number of heads obtained. This is also and these all of these are the small experiments that we may be done in the real life. Manufacture items on a production line and count the number of defective items produced during the 24 hours. So if someone is some products are manufacturing and there are always a probability that maybe some products may be defective or we can count them products, but we don't know how many products are there those are manufacturing. Suppose a light bulb is manufactured and it is tested for its length by inserting it into a socket and the time elapses. If someone makes a light bulb and we can test it for what is the life of this, so how can we measure? We plug into the switch and thereafter we can measure that after what time it will be diffused. Okay, next is a lot of 10 item contains 3 defective. We have a lot and it containing 10 items and we already know that 3 are defectives from them. One item is chosen after another without replacing the chosen item until the last defective item. The total number of items removed from the lot is counted. For example, we taken out the each items and thereafter we find that how many items are left or how many items we can cut. Items are manufactured until 10 defective items are produced. In a production company or production industries, we produce item till then we have the 10 defective items and we stop our production after 10 defective items or non 10 defective non 10 non-defective items. Okay. So a newly launched missile is observed at time T1, T2 and Tn. At each of these times, missile's height above the ground is recorded. The tensile strength of a steel beam is measured. So what thing is common in all these experiments? Some things are common in all of these experiments and those common things are called the random experiment. So now we are going to define that random experiment. What is random experiment? So a random experiment is an experiment in which all outcomes of the experiments are known in advance. So we know all of the outcomes. Suppose we are throwing a dice. What are the possible outcomes? 1 to up to 6. Either it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. If we toss 4 coins and we have to count the number of heads. So number of heads maybe there may be no head. There may be 1 head, 2 head, 3 head and 4 head. So all of these outcomes are known in advance. Thereafter, any particular performance of the experiment result in an outcome that is not known in advance. Before conducting experiments, we know all of the outcomes, but we don't know which particular outcomes will come. Suppose tossing a coins, we know either it may come head or tail, but we don't know exactly which will come after tossing a coin. The experiment can be repeated under identical conditions. So this is the last condition. And the examples we defined above are all the random experiments. So in probability theory, we study uncertainty of a random experiment. It is convenient to associate with each such experiment a sample space, a set omega. This is the sample space of the all possible outcomes of the experiment. So we start our study with the random experiment. Okay, in the next we will discuss